Hello my dear students. In the previous video we discussed about laws of motion and we discussed about force and momentum. In the present session we discuss about force, inertia, momentum in brief. Okay. So force may be defined as an agency which changes or tends to change the state of rest or of uniform motion of the direction of motion of a body. Force may be defined as an external agency. It is an external agency which changes or tends to change the state of rest or of uniform motion or the direction of motion of a body. Now its unit is Newton and dimension is mlt minus 2. Now, what is inertia? Inertia, the inherent property of a material body by virtue of which it cannot change by itself its state of rest or uniform motion in the straight line is called inertia. The inherent property of a material body by virtue of which it cannot change by itself its state of rest or uniform motion in a straight line is called inertia. Now the different type of inertia, the first one is called inertia of wrist. The tendency of a body to remain its position of rest is called inertia of rest. The tendency of a body to remain in its position of rest is called inertia of rest. As we know that when a bus moves, we fall in backward direction. Why? This is due to inertia of rest. The cause is very simple. When the bus moves, the lower part or the contact point. Now the lower part of the body is the contact point while the upper part of the body it cannot be contact point. So lower part of the body is the contact point. So when the bus moves, the lower part of his body begins to move along with bus because it is the contact point along with bus while the upper part of body continue to remain at rest due to inertia of rest. When the bus moves, the lower part of passenger body, lower part of his body or her body begins to move along with the bus while the upper part of his body continue to remain at rest due to inertia. This is why, that is why a person falls backward when the bus started. That is why a person falls backward when the bus starts. Now the second one is inertia of motion. Now what is inertia of motion? The tendency of a body to remain in a state of uniform motion in a straight line is called inertia of motion. The tendency of a body to remain in a state of uniform motion in a straight line is called inertia of motion. So when a bus or car is stopped, we fallen in forward direction. Why? This is the main cause of inertia of motion. As we know that when a bus stops, the lower part of the body comes to rest along with bus. As the bus stops, now as the bus stops, you just imagine, okay, when a bus stops, the lower part of his body comes to rest along with the bus, but the upper part of his body continue to remain its motion due to inertia of motion. Okay, when the bus stops, the lower part of his body comes to rest along with the bus, while the upper part of his body continue to remain in motion due to inertia of motion, and due to that factor the passenger fallen in forward direction. Due to that factor the passenger fallen in forward direction. Now the third one is inertia of direction. What is inertia of direction? The inability of a body to change by itself its direction of motion. As you know that the natural tendency of the body to goes through along a straight line path. Okay, it is unable to change its direction until and unless no external forces act upon it. So inability of a body to change by itself its direction of motion is called inertia of direction. Now when a bus takes a sharp turn, okay, a sharp turn, and a person sitting in the bus experiences a force acting away from the center of the curved path due to his tendency to move in the original direction. The natural tendency of a body to move along the straight line path. So when a bus takes a sharp turn, a person sitting in the bus experiences a force acting away from the center of the curved path due to his tendency to move in the original direction. Now after that we discuss about momentum. Okay, the momentum, what is the momentum? So momentum of a body is the quantity of motion possessed by the body. It is equal to the product of mass and velocity of the body. But actually the momentum is what? Momentum of a body is the quantity of motion possessed by the body. The quantity of motion possessed by the body is called momentum. Okay, as we know that momentum is the product of mass and velocity. So momentum is equal to mass into velocity. Now after that we discuss about Newton's law of motion, and we know that there are mainly three laws given by Newton's law of motion. The first law, everybody continue in the state of rest or of uniform motion in a straight line until unless no external force is acting on the system. Everybody continue in the state of rest or of uniform motion in a straight line unless it is compelled by some external force to change that state. Okay. The second law of motion state, the rate of change of linear momentum of a body, the rate of change of linear momentum means dp by dt. Okay, so the rate of change of linear momentum of a body is directly proportional. The rate of change of linear momentum of a body is directly proportional to the applied force, and the change takes place in the direction of applied force. And the third law states, to every action there is always an equal and opposite reaction, and it acts upon two different bodies. To every action there is always an equal and opposite reaction, and it acts upon two different bodies. Even the action and reaction force act a single body, the action and reaction pair cancel each other, and the resultant force is zero, so the body cannot be moved or act. So every action there is always an equal opposite reaction, and it acts upon two different bodies, not a single body. Remember it. Now measurement of force from Newton's second law of motion, as we know that P is equal to mv, where P is momentum, m is mass, and v is the velocity. Now differentiating both sides with respect to time. So dp by dt is equal to d by dt, put mv, as we know that m is constant, we cannot differentiate it, so m, and dv by dt, change in velocity with respect to time, is called acceleration. So ma, as we know that dp by dt is directly proportional to force according to Newton's second law of motion. The dp by dt is directly proportional to force, so F is directly proportional to ma, or F barabar kma, where k is the proportionality constant, the practical value of k is 1, so F barabar ma. In the next session we discuss about impulsive force. Till then, goodbye and good day.